All right, my name is Alex Wilson with Building Green. Welcome to this year's focus on green building products. Every year since GreenBuild's been happening, since the first GreenBuild conference in Austin, Texas, we've reported on our pick of 10 really cool products that we think are helping drive the green building movement forward. There's a big problem today with building systems, building enclosures in terms of air leakage, moisture intrusion, and durability. And there have been a lot of efforts within the industry, the building industry, to figure that out. You know, we've seen a range of weather-resistive barriers that are added. One of the problems with standard weather-resistive barriers is that they depend on proper installation. You've got to tape the seams, you've got to overlap them properly, and you've got to avoid exposure to UV light, direct sunlight, you know, after it's been installed. So, you know, this is something the building science community is focusing on quite a bit. You know, how do we create better building enclosures? How do we keep buildings dry and well insulated? And avoid the air leakage problems? And how do we create systems that can be fail-safe more than the barrier, the film-applied systems? So the product we're recognizing this year is PROSOCO's fluid-applied R-Guard Cat 5 system. The Cat 5 here refers to a system that's been tested to survive Category 5 hurricane conditions. It's an integrated system that includes this spray-on barrier coating, joint and seam filler, you know, much like caulk, this fast flash system, and air dam. It's an integrated system that's been developed with really good building science. It's been extensively tested. The parts are color-coded so that if they're properly installed, the installer knows it. You know, it's hard to screw it up, but they do still require testing and training of the installers so that it is done correctly. You end up with a product that's extremely good at blocking liquid water, but also high in permeability. So it has that, you know, perfect mix of keeping water out, but letting trapped water vapor escape. And it can be left exposed after it's installed if the cladding hasn't gone in for a much longer time. It's engineered to withstand UV damage. I had the good opportunity when I was in Portland, Oregon earlier this year at the Living Future Conference to go visit a PROSOCO test facility just outside Portland. And it was really an amazing experience. If you get a chance to visit one of their test facilities, there's another one in Florida, and I think one in Kansas. They can test an entire assembly, building assembly, pretty large building assembly. And it's a little hard to see here, but in this, on the photo on the left, we're looking at a glass sealed door, basically, into this system. And they've got sprayers and fans, and they can create these extreme conditions, you know, this Category 5 conditions. And here on the right, we're looking at the back side of this chamber. And in this case, they were testing a passive house window from Europe, you know, one of these quite expensive passive house windows. And it didn't do well, you know, with those wind and rain conditions. The window, despite being a very tight window by American standards, proved to be pretty leaky. So, you know, these test facilities allow us to understand more about not only how PROSOCO's system works, but how other systems used in building enclosures work. The chemistry is a really interesting story. I don't know a lot about the detailed chemistry. It's a Cellyl terminated polyether, STPE. You know, it's again engineered for UV exposure, doesn't include solvents or isocyanates, and actually with the Living Building Challenge project in Seattle, Washington, the Bullitt Center, which is an amazing building if you haven't seen it or heard of it. It's the first large, 6-story office building, I think 50,000 square feet, that's designed to meet the Living Building Challenge requirements. And that Living Building Challenge program has red list chemicals that can't be included in a building. So they were struggling with what to use in this for air and moisture control. They went to PROSOCO because they liked the performance aspects of it, but it had some chemicals in it that didn't meet their requirements. PROSOCO re-engineered the product to meet the needs of that Living Building Challenge program, and PROSOCO got so interested in that process that they actually changed their entire product line to take out those toxic chemicals. And not only that, but they joined the Health Products Declaration movement, the transparency movement that's been building up a lot of steam over the last 2 or 3 years, and became one of the first manufacturer partners of that program. And they have published health products declarations for these products. An installation photo showing how one of these components goes on. And a few photos, both an installation photo at the Bullitt Center, and then a photo I took when I was there a few months ago in Seattle. And again, if you get a chance to visit that Bullitt Center, it's a pretty amazing building. They generate all their own energy consumed in the project with that cap of photovoltaic panels on the roof. They use a foam flush composting toilet system, foam flush toilets that serve a composting toilet system in a 6-story commercial office building, Class A office building. Pretty amazing program. Anyway, so take a look at that if you're in the facility or in the region, and take a look at PROSOCO's products.
Great, thanks Alex. It's a great product.